Hello, greetings and welcome to another WildStar video here on the Fluffy Gaming channel. And this week we've just had some new screenshots from the WildStar Wednesday. What were they about, Rob?
WildStar Wednesday this week was a really cool idea where they asked the beta testers who are currently, running around the lovely game and setting up their houses, and they were asked to take pictures of how they've decorated their houses.
Because there is in-game housing.
Because there is in-game housing. And the best decorated houses got a spot on the WildStar Wednesday. And we can see them here now, as you can see. There's a link to the...
They are now on screen.
Yeah, we'll put a link in the bottom as well, so you can go and...
Yeah, so you can actually go to their site and...
High-res glory.
Yeah.
But there was also an interesting interview with Mr. Gaffney on Rock, Paper, Shotgun.
Mr. Gaffney is...
He's the design director. I was going to say content director again.
Design director, so that's kind of like an overseer of the whole...
Yeah, he's kind of like
the
the guy to talk to about the game, basically.
Cool. Chief architect.
Yeah, guy who knows what's going on.
And it was an interview that was done by Rock, Paper, Shotgun, to which we will also link below in the description.
Yeah, and they did actually a really good job, and they drilled him hard.
Okay, hard drilling has been commencified.
Yeah, it was a good interview. I kind of enjoyed it.
So what was the key stuff that we picked up from this interview?
Well, there was quite a big, an update of stuff that's happened, and talking about how the beta testers and feedback and things have affected things in game. There's a lot of talk about how they've changed a lot of things to do with that, specifically to do with that kind of feedback, and how there's been massive 70 pages worth of patch notes and stuff that have gone into the updates into the game recently, and massive changes and things that are good, content and tweaks and all that kind of stuff. But the biggest part of the interview was right at the start. Rock, Paper, Shotgun basically come out with, what are you able to tell us about the business model at this stage? And that's the first question. And
the business model is like the way that you're going to be able to pay for the game and how it's going to be delivered.
Yeah,
to you and all that stuff. So whether it's like a sub fee based thing or a free to play or a microtransaction driven thing, all that stuff. The decision has not yet been presented on how that's going to work, but they need to monetize the game to make it able to sustain itself.
Exactly, they do. You can't
get away.
You can't fund it because you can't not fund a game. You need to have the money coming in to then pay the devs. It's obvious.
Exactly.
So he goes on for quite a bit of detail about this, giving some hints and tips and sneaks and all that kind of stuff, and Rock, Paper, Shotgun did a really good job of kind of delving him a bit deeper on this topic. And he's actually said that there will be an announcement soonish with a dev speak video, which if you have been checking out their WildStar channel, there's been some dev speak videos on game mechanics and things like that, which are really pretty good actually, and very plain speaking. Now he wants to give a video with no bullshit, as to say, but his interesting quote that he gave was, because if there's a single thing we found is that no one loves a business model and everyone hates a business model. No one's like, I love a subscription game, I hate cash shops, or I hate free to play, or I hate subs. So what we want to do is try and be flexible and let people pay how they want to pay, and do it a bit more of a hybrid. So
pay how you want to pay. That's it. You've heard it here, guys. Pay how you want to pay.
So
be flexible.
Does that mean I'm going to be able to take him some carrots, or maybe a cake? Here you go, I'll pay by cake.
Or maybe you could come to some private arrangement. I don't know.
Well, it's definitely going to involve money, because obviously it has to involve money.
I think when he says pay how you want to pay, it's going to be multiple choice. It's not going to be like, come up with some way of like how you want to pay us. Yeah,
exactly. There's going to be
options.
Yeah, and hybrid of the previous systems. He says that he was asked later on, do you think you're innovating in this ideas of payment models? And he was saying Yeah, in a way. Although it's taking from the old, and we're just doing it with our own style,
expanding it.
Yeah, which is
evolving.
It's good to do that.
It's not a revolution; it's evolution.
He also spoke about how it was important to learn from the past and not do things instantly as how things have been done in the past, because that always seems to fail. It's always a bad way of doing it, payment wise. So be interesting to see how they come out with this. I'm guessing there's probably going to be some form of monthly subscription, maybe some form of buying the game in a like a Guild Wars 2 style, and maybe some form of maybe even some form of free to play aspect. Maybe you buy part content. I don't know. It's really
well, it's interesting because there's those options, but then also recently, if you think of things like PlanetSide 2's got an interesting, because I mean PlanetSide 2 is free to play. However, you can go for like deluxe kind of pass kind of upgrade to your account kind of options that give you access to well, not more power, but just more features and stuff, doesn't it? So
yeah, you don't have more power, but you have you can access guns quicker.
Yeah,
but they're not necessarily. You can access them through the normal system.
Yeah.
But I think you can also. It's complete like they're very visual in their things, so they've got a lot of customization on look and camo and all that kind of stuff.
So it's there's a few different ways that it could work, and it looks like what they're saying is you can basically pick your favourite.
Yeah, it seems that
which
way.
is a really good idea, and I've never certainly heard of any kind of choose your own payment model thing in a game before. So
it will be interesting to see how they balance it. Say, for example, if you went for I want to buy the game and that's it payment model, and then I want to subscribe payment model. It's kind of interesting to see how they're going to balance the game, in the sense that obviously if you're subscribed to something, you're paying for it monthly, and therefore after a certain amount of time you're going to be paying more, surely, than someone who's bought the game. It's an interesting
thing, and it probably, if they don't do it right, it could be a cock-up, but I'm pretty sure they sound very committed, the WildStar people, to get it all right, don't they?
Well, yeah, they sound... Yeah, well,
they just want to make like the ultimate MMO, really. It takes the best of everything and learns from the past, which is not something that always happens.
You should always learn from the past.
Yes. So, was there anything else that was important from that
It's a great interview, actually. If you want to go rock paper WildStar,
rock paper wild shot.
Wild shot. Yeah, go and read it, because it's a really good article, and it's a really interesting insight. But that was probably the biggest part of it.
That was the main
the
thing
business
that we wanted
model
to cover, wasn't it? Really.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's cool, awesome. So let us know what you think about the choose your own payment thing that we haven't heard the full details of yet, but they are going to reveal full information about it in one of their own videos over on their own channel on the DevSpeak thing that they do there. So give us your opinions, and we will look forward to seeing you again in the next WildStar video. Thanks for watching, guys, and goodbye.
Goodbye.